Welcome to Embracing Infinity, exploring the infinite oneness in the space of love and truth. Host Jennifer Rose is an international spiritual medium, healer, channeler, mentor, and transformational guide. Her focus is encouraging individuals to know themselves within the lens of their divine heart and highest potential, to evolve within the frequency of love and peaceful harmony. Now, here's your host, Jennifer Rose.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Embracing Infinity on the Sacred Spiral Network. I hope you all are having a lovely day so far. My name is Jennifer Rose, and I'm so happy to be here with all of you today as we all start coming on and joining. I'd like to just give a few quick announcements before we get started. Let me see where I want to start here. This afternoon, Miss Kelly Brickle, who is the creator and producer of the Sacred Spiral Network, will be doing her psychic show this at 1:30 Pacific time. So you want to come onto the psychic hour because she'll be doing live readings and she's absolutely beautiful. This coming Sunday, I've got my Sunday spiritual service, and we've got Dr. Lima Bergman as our guest spiritual medium and inspired speaker. And the lovely Fran Pierce will be our spiritual poetess for the day as well. And I'm so excited that Miss Alice Trevorrow, she's from Scotland. She is the sparkle queen that we all know and love, will be on here today. And she and I will also be doing a demonstration on Monday with Miss Debbie Romero and Mr. Bill Hughes, both wonderful mediums. You know, Miss Debbie is a very good friend of mine. And so the four of us will be doing a demonstration at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 Eastern, and 8 p.m. UK time on Monday. It's just a donation based, so all are welcome. So we hope you can all make it for that as well. With that, I'd love to say hi to our guests. Looks like Mrs. Crystal is joining. Hello, Crystal. And Gwendolyn is here. Hello, Miss Gwendolyn. How are you guys doing today? And Jennifer is here too. Hi, Jennifer. Nice to see you too. And Miss Allison, great to see you. Hi, Allison, for joining. And yes, it's evening for you over there. I know. It's so funny. We're all in the different time zones. Hey, Marwa, how are you? Good to see you too, love. So thank you all for coming here today and joining us and being in this sacred space of love and friendship here too. I'll be bringing Alice on very, very shortly, and I'm just going to chat for just a couple of minutes with y'all. And I hope you've all had a fabulous week as we're moving into the end of May. We're going into June. We're going to be heading into summer solstice soon. The sun's coming out and the flowers are blooming. The energies are calming down a little bit. So this is a really wonderful time for a little bit of R&R, a little bit of relaxation, taking time for yourself and for lots of self-care and self-love and connection with those that you love in this world. What I would like to share with you, a few things that just have been coming into my awareness, and it'll just be a little quickie here today because I know Alice and I are going to have so much fun here today chatting and discussing here with all of you here today. We'll try not to be like teenagers. We tend to get the giggles when we're together, so we'll see how that goes. But anyways, what I wanted to chat with you about a little today is just being kind and gentle with all of the perspectives that come into our life and awareness. There are so many teachings out there. There's so many little quotes and memes and things out there, and different people offering perspective. And it can get a little bit confusing to sort through sometimes. And I'm sure all of you can relate to that. You hear one thing and that sounds good, and then you hear another different thing and that sounds good. And some of it that we hear can be helpful and empowering, and some of it can just kind of make us feel like we're not doing it right too. So it's just something that Spirit kind of brought into my awareness. A lot of things tend to come to us kind of in absolutes, like we've got to do it this way, we've got to do it that way. And once we embrace this knowing and this understanding, then everything's going to be okay. But what I have learned for, myself through my work with spirit is that there are many, many perspectives out there to acknowledge and consider. And when we tend to go to extremes back and forth like this, we miss a whole lot in the middle. Hello, Mirjana. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming. So there's some beautiful, beautiful information out there. And what I just want to offer is that it may not be the perfect information for you 100% of the time, because we are these continuing interdimensional, multidimensional beings of love, and we are having so much experience, so many different ways of looking at things, especially when we are on the spiritual path. There's going to be many different opportunities to see things from multiple angles. And in the end, we'll always kind of come home back to love. So there is this expansion of understanding and ideas. Hi, Susan. And then there's a coming back home with all of the ideas too. So that's just something I wanted to offer to all of you. And what I wanted to give is just like a couple of examples that are coming. I do it my way, like Frank Sinatra says. I love that, Marwa. Thank you. Coming into that freedom of thought, that freedom to make choices for yourself. And so we can take in that information and say, oh, that resonates, or that doesn't resonate for us too. And there's so much wisdom and beauty out there. And what I just wanted to offer is that just may not be perfect for you 100% of the time, because we have feelings, we have emotions, we have sensitivities, we have different moods, we have flexibilities. We're going through different things in life. And when life is going really easy for us, it can be really, really easy to see things from a broader, higher perspective where you're not really letting much get to you. And you're like, I got this, no one's going to affect me and things like that. But the truth of the matter is, because we are in this human experience, we are going to be affected. We can't always not take everything personally, or not have our feelings hurt, or not do it that way, because we're not, like I said, robots, and another one I saw recently was to have like zero expectations from anybody. And that's designed to help us give a life of freedom, of not getting our feelings hurt. But it's just very limiting, and it's very absolute. Hi, Ronnie. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Marion. Good to see you. So those are just a couple of examples that I wanted to give, because when we see things in these big absolutes, then it can rob us of other experiences that we can have of moving through the process of being a spiritual human, and our connections with other people too. Because sometimes it's good to have expectations, because that's how we push the people that are around us. And I'm saying a positive push to grow within themselves, because we're all growing together, just as we would want someone to push us to be our best self. So it's that continuous interaction. So there's always positive ways of looking at things, and maybe negative ways of looking at things. It's very helpful if we can shift our awareness and our consciousness to understand that in different moments, on different days, and in different situations, certain things will be helpful, and other things will be helpful at different times. So I hope that's making a little bit of sense for you too, to give you a little bit of freedom to not have to do it like one way or somebody else's way, like all of the time. Because just because we've gotten that information from, say, somebody who is a celebrity or very well respected in the spiritual community, it's still beautiful information. It just doesn't mean it's going to be perfect for you 100% of the time. So give yourself that grace, give your mind, that love and gentleness too, as well. Hi, Mike. Thanks for coming on. Nice to see you too. And the one last thing I wanted to offer too is that take a moment with that too, is that within each and every one of us, there is an absolute perfect love. And that there is, I was actually going to say something else, but they switched it on me. And there is your joy. And there's, hi, Fulham Spiritualist Church. Thanks for joining us. There is your joy. There is your grace. there is your kindness and compassion, and there's your spirit. And it's all of that wrapped up in one beautiful, amazing, infinite, glorious state of being and mind and heart and spirit. It's all one and together. And nothing can ever destroy that. We may have moments where we forget these things about ourselves and we think, I need to find it again. I need to get it back. You never lost it. It's always there. It belongs to you. We're just moving through experiences that are different. And then we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that belonging of self. So try not to worry when, things go up and things come down, because it is those moments of crisis, those tower moments, those really difficult experiences and tragic things that sometimes burst our heart open into more love and more understanding and more beauty. And so that is the gift of that. I think it was Elizabeth Gilbert from Eat, Pray, Love who said, ruin is the road to transformation. And in that road to transformation, we're always becoming more and more and more of us. It is that beautiful discovering of self. And in that beautiful discovering of your divine self, you connect with everybody else in the most beautiful love. And that is how we're able to raise our consciousness to get towards more of that enlightened state of awareness for longer periods of time, where we can be in that beautiful, graceful love with each other, towards each other, seeing each other through those beautiful eyes of love, of spirit, of God, whatever word you wish to choose. And the more we can have those beautiful moments, the richer our lives will become. So I hope that I gave a little something for you too. And with that, I would like to please welcome the Sparkle Queen from Scotland, Miss Alice Trevorrow. There she is.
Hi there.
Hi, Alice.
Thank you for that beautiful introduction. Thank you so much.
You really are the queen of sparkle. We love you so much.
I love it. And I've no sparkle on tonight either. I'm very plain tonight.
Radiated anyways.
Oh, it's great to be on your show. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming, Alice. And I'm so happy you're here. You're such a dear friend of mine, and you've made my life so much better since coming into my world back in like early 2021. And I would love to chat a little bit about that. But first, I would just love if you would just tell everybody a little bit about yourselves for those who may not know you as well as I do. And all our beautiful friends are here supporting you here today.
Okay, all right. Okay, so a little bit about me. Okay, well, I am a spiritual medium and I'm a psychic. I'm a Reiki master. I also do spiritual healing as well, and I run my own podcast called Sparkle of Light Spiritual Chat Show. And I must admit, though, I have to thank Paul Bannister because I used to be on SPTV, Spiritual Talk TV. Yeah, I used to be on my head.
I know the different networks get confusing. Yeah,
I used to be on that, and it just gave me that little bit of encouragement and that buzz of, hey, I want to continue doing this, and I kind of want to do it my way. Did someone say that earlier on? Do it my way.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think this is really good that we're able to, do those things. Other mediums or other people can inspire you in other ways. And without them realizing it, they've opened a little channel, a little door there where it's a door that you have to go through. It's a learning curve and it's experience, and I probably would never have done this, if I had never been invited as a host onto Paul's show at the time. So there's a lot of people you have to thank on your journey, isn't there? There is a lot of people you do have to thank along your journey, and I am very much enjoying doing my podcast. And I have I've also got another host there that helps me as well. Her name is Judith Miller. So yeah, there's a lot to my kind of background as well. I've originally I did do mediumship when I was younger. I sat in a circle when I was 16, and then I did some I sat in a circle when I was, what age was I? I must have been about 18 or 19 when I moved down to England. And then I kind of changed my path and I went into nursing, and I became a surgical nurse. And I was I was what we call a nursing auxiliary for a little while, getting into the role of it, and and getting the groundwork done. And then later on, I did my training and I became a registered general nurse, and I got my Bachelor of Science degree, which was a massive achievement to me, because when I was at school, I don't think they had much hope for me at school, and they certainly never got the support at school. So it was something I think I had to prove to myself, and I did do that. So that was a big achievement for me there as well. So I continued on with that until I was later on in years, and then there is a medical illness I do have. I've got an autoimmune disease, and I've got 3 different types of arthritis as well. So I was medically retired before I was 55. So I was just coming up for 54 when I got medically retired, and kind of thought my life had had came to an end. I was just like, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to do now? But Spirit told me there was now time to work for them, because in between all my nursing career, I was doing training, lots and lots of training, lots of mentorship courses. Yes, you do go through that spell of, you go through different trainers, but then you find your little niche, and the one that kind of resonates more with you, and you stick with that. But I certainly recommended the Arthur Findlay College, because it gave you that option of different tutors to find the tutor that perhaps resonates more with yourself, and you can carry on forward, and maybe doing a mentorship course and going more in depth with them. And that's what I did. Yeah, did spend a lot of money on that, but at the end of the day, once you kind of get all that training and you incorporate little bits from the different teachers you've been to, you pull the little ones there to your own heart and soul to become your own medium. And from there on, you just let Spirit lead the way, and Spirit is your teacher. And they're the ones that are ready and to open all the doors. And that's what they told me. They said, oh, well, you're going to be busy, because you're going to be working for us. And they were absolutely right, because like the day I came out of the hospital, I thought, wow, this is going to be so funny, never walking back in here as a nurse again. And this is the truth, that honestly, hand on my heart, next day, some phone calls started coming in, and some opportunities started coming in just out the blue. And then things just opened up, just kept going on this journey with them. And I was out doing lots of churches, centres, demonstrations, private readings were coming in, and the door just opened up. And then it opened up down to England and further down south, and then Ireland as well. And then we hit the point of where COVID came in, later on. And then that opened up another door for us all, where we were kind of more internationally, globally getting connected, with everybody. And this is where I found you, which, you're a beautiful soul. You're a great friend of mine as well. And we clicked, and the doors opened up then with other people. And it's, you know, it's been a beautiful journey, and it's been a beautiful journey of connecting with other people who have that love, you know, have that passion and belief that you believe in, and who just get you, just understand you, you know, and don't think you're weird, or, you know, or, you know, and you can sit and you can talk to people feeling at ease, you know, and it's opened up these doors. And I have got a lot to thank Spirit for, because Spirit opened those doors and brought these people into my life, and they do it for a reason, you know, whether it's to teach us the experience, for to learn and grow and to move forward. And I do believe that has been the case there for me. I am married. I've got 2 adult children. I always say I've got 2 children, and I've got to correct myself because they are adult children, you know. So, but it's an empty nest in our house now, you know. My son's married, and my daughter is living down south and is getting married next August. So I have got a grandchild as well, so who is coming up for 3 years of age. So I don't know where the time has went, Jennifer. I don't know where the time has went, you know. And you just think, you know, you think you've got all the time in the world for things, and then all of a sudden you think, well, I'll do that maybe later on in life. But then before you know, that later on in life is there, you know, and you're 60, and then you think, well, you know, how did that happen? You know, can I just say to anybody who is 60 though, just say to yourself, well, life begins at 60. Okay. I've still got a very young mind, you know, and I like a good laugh. I can be serious at times as well. But, you know, life is for living, you know. And even though we lose our family or friends or close people who were just, you had that such a close bond, including animals, life is for living. And our spirit friends and family do not want us here to be unhappy. They don't want us to be sad, because it makes them sad to see us like that, because they're very much connected with us. They don't feel the same loss and miss that we do, because they are so close to us, and they're there, you know, whereas we physically can't see them. We can perhaps feel them, and as a medium, we know that we do, or hear them, like, you know. But you'd want to watch who you say that to as well. They'll think, you know. So there's only certain people you can say, well, I hear voices. No, it's actually the spirit voices. And some people may look at you a little bit, really, you know. But yeah, you know, I do. So I'm going to move my hand up. I hear spirit clairaudiently.
Me too.
And so I'm glad you're in my pack. And we're not weird.
Me too.
Yeah, we're not weird. And spirit don't want us. They want us to have fun. They want us to be happy, and they want to share that experience of life through our eyes as well, and continue our journey, no matter how hard and difficult that pain is. I'm sorry, it's the price of love, and it's how lucky are we to have had that love with that person, and that person has gone physically, but spiritually, they're not gone at all. They're just in another life that they can come back and forward in a moment's thought. They're still very much with us, you know. And it doesn't take away, though, the pain of that loss. So don't, you know, and that includes us, mediums. Of course, we're going to grieve. Of course, we're going to have that loss. But at the end of the day, we know when we come into this life, we're not here to stay. It's a journey. And this life is a school of learning, I believe. So from there on, whatever we learn here and grow from, we will continue to do this in the afterlife. But I think I've kind of went on a little bit. You see, you asked me a question, and then it goes, and maybe that's an age thing. I divert on to other things, you see, Jennifer.
That's okay, Alice. There I go, dropping my glasses again. That's okay. No, you were on a roll, and that was beautiful. And thank you for sharing that with all of us. I want to say hi to Jack and Cheyenne, who have joined us as well. And Nancy is here. Hi, Nancy. One of my girls, and Tracy's here too. Hi, Tracy. Thanks for coming, everybody. So happy that you're all here with us too. So, yeah, that's all so beautiful, Alice. And I know. When you came into my world, this is like during COVID time back then, and like many others, like we were going through a lot of what I want to say is a transformation during that period because we were, isolated. And so it gave us that opportunity to go through a lot of spiritual, and mine was very, very, very intense. I had already been through several years of it, but this took me to a whole nother level and kind of like blasted my awareness open. But for me, it was very difficult because certain, like you talked about doors opening and closing, certain doors for me had to, hold on, we've got some, I can't get rid of that one. There's a troll on here, Kelly, but I can't, that one I can't, see if she can help us with that too. Anyways, excuse me, everybody, sorry about that. I had some doors that were closing for me because certain people, they weren't able to just kind of say, hey, are you okay? Do you need my help? And instead kind of went a different direction, were a little bit more pushing me away this way, when all I needed was somebody to be there and check on me. And of course, a lot of my other beautiful friends who are still very near and dear in my heart and close to me were able to be that for me. But it was very sad to kind of have to say, goodbye. But then lo and behold, I believe it was January 2nd, it's always that beginning of the year, everything changes for me. It's like the new year is significant for me. You came into my world and invited me onto your church demonstration online. And I think that was my first like international demonstration that we had together too. So Alice, are you able to remove that one on your end too? Do you have 3 dots in the corner of those messages? So if we could, this gentleman needs to say goodbye because this is your time. So see if you could help us with that. Yeah. No. Do you have 3 dots in the corner?
Not beside it. No.
Okay. I'm going to ask this person to please leave. Thank you. We send our love, but it's time to go. Thank you.
Yeah,
and anybody here who is on the live here, if you're being interacted with this person, please just delete them. Thank you. Sorry about that on our end. So
hold on. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that happens sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm not getting that. No.
Okay. That's a tricky one. Okay. So I'm just going to say to
I'm unable to delete it, I'm afraid.
Yeah, to all of our viewers, just to please keep removing this person as they're coming in and they're interacting with you. With that, we're going to just say it's time to go. Thank you. Okay. So, but what I wanted to say is,
thank you. And good night.
Yeah, I know. It's bye. Sending our love, but it's time to go. This is Alice's show. Yeah. There we go. So, so moving on, what I wanted to say is I'm just so grateful that, you came into my world because it was a gift from spirit. Because usually, and I want to say this to everybody here, if you're going through difficult times and circumstances and transformation, spirit will come in the end and give you a huge gift. It may be, an increase in your abilities. It may be opportunities coming your way. It may be other things in your like more physical reality too that show up for you too. So just kind of keep the faith there with that. And then we've got Fulham on here today. And when he was on the service that I got to demonstrate for you for Alice too. Yeah. And then I was able to demonstrate for Fulham too. And so I want to give a shout out over there and say thank you, because the 2 of you believed in me and, trusted me to come onto your services with your people, with your community. And that helped to open up a lot more doors for me. And so since then, I've gotten to have so much growth, and that for me was such a huge gift because I had been through something really, 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 really hard, as you know. So I'm so grateful. And I'm so glad you gave a shout out to Paul too, because I got to co-host with you a little bit as well on his, and that helped us also to kind of get that little boost of
Yeah.
confidence to move
Yeah.
in that direction for ourselves as well.
Yeah.
So that was really nice. We just had him on last week, so
Yeah.
I'm getting to return the favors full circle as you have done for me. I get to return and do it for all of you. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna try not to have a giggle fest here today, because every time we get on a show together, we start laughing like we're
I know.
16.
No. I know. Yeah.
It's just too funny.
Yeah. But yeah, it's all experience, isn't it? It's all experience as well. And I do remember though, your picture your picture came up on Instagram, and I was drawn to it so much. It was like there was nothing else there, and Spirit said I was to contact you. I said, "You're joking. I don't know her. Why am I and you contact her and you invite her on, because it was Sparkle Light Spiritual Center online for the demonstration at the time."
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I'll contact her. So I'm typing up what I'm feeling and getting told, and I'm typing it all up. And I thought, I want to hear back though. I want to hear back. Well, I did. I did. And I was like, oh, well, and I told you I'm here, and I told you she's coming onto the show. She's coming onto the show. And then when you came onto the show, I can remember you were working at the time, and I could hear, it's going to be a good friend of yours. You've got a lot in common, more than you realise. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And you know that you've got to believe and you've got to trust, because you did come onto the show, things was lovely, and there was a lot of things that we started to find out from each other later on, just how much your nature is very much alike in a lot of ways as well, but how beautiful Spirit actually are, because they opened that door there, and then Debbie opened the door then with Debbie, and then there was just lots of other beautiful people were coming in. Fulham, as you say, as well, and the lovely Derek there as well, went and did an online demonstration there, and it was just like I don't know, just the beautiful people that you meet through this. I know that this movement can at times get a bit of a little bit, not of a bad name, but can have a bit of a negativity of it, when there's a little bit of maybe people who are kind of not being truly spiritual. I don't know how to word it any other way, but you got to remember about the other people that are there, and everybody is going through their own experience. Everything happens for a reason. People we meet who taught us lessons about people that you talk about friends, and you think they were a good friend, and then you realize actually they really weren't. The knife was in the back, and and you were very naive to it and trusting, and then you learn that, well, I had to learn that to appreciate the real people that come into my life, the real honest people who have got that love, who do have your back and will support you and will always be there for you. Because if you hadn't went through those times, then you wouldn't appreciate what you have now, So yeah, I'm grateful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful for all my experiences that Spirit has taught me, and tough ones as well, because it's who it's made me now. And that's the way I look at it. And I will also say to you, Jennifer, you have came a long way as well.
Thank you.
And you're one strong lady. Never ever doubt that. You've got a beautiful heart, and you have got we can all, we're human. We're human beings, so we can all have our ups and downs, and but we're human. But we're good people, we want to help people, we don't wish anyone any harm, you know, and we want to help people, you know, and I'm going to tell you a little story, but keep it to yourselves. Don't tell anybody this, though. Okay, this is just a little secret between us. All right, just us. Okay. See, when you go through the menopause, oh my goodness me, do you know, it can change you, do you know, and it certainly changed me. And but I eventually I went cold turkey without HRT and all the rest of it, and I'm on my HRT patches now, but but it's hard going. It's hard going, and when you're going through that kind of hormonal change as well, you feel as if you're losing yourself a little bit, and sometimes you feel a bit lost, you know. But see, when you are actually open up and you speak about it, you actually release that fear on the stigma around it, and then you realize, you know what, this is a normal human anatomy feeling, you know, of change. And it's not maybe me at that time, but it is very much what I'm going through. And you'll dip in and out of that, but once you accept, you know, this is a process I've got to go through because I'm changing, I'm getting older, you know. And once you accept that, and you just go with it as well, and you support each other, then you don't feel so lost and alone on it, you know, like it can be quite a lonely journey. And I do feel Spirit opened that up for me as well, for to just kind of share a little bit that it's okay if you are going through your emotional up and downs, you know, 1 minute, and maybe a wee bit cranky the next, and then back to being you again, you know. You've never lost you. You've never lost you, but talk about it, because I tell you, when you talk about it and you share it with other people, things change. Things change,
Yeah.
and you actually feel, hey, you know what? I'm all right. I'm getting through this. I'm all right.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. You know. Anyway, I don't know how I got on about that, Jennifer, but I
Yeah.
did. So
Well,
there you
it's
go.
okay. Well, it's you know, it's another rite of passage
Yeah.
of being a woman too, but it affects everybody that we're connected to. And I think it helps because when we talk about it, then there's a little bit more compassion, empathy, and understanding. And then other people who maybe not take it so personally, if we were in a bad mood, that you know that our hormones were, you know,
Yeah.
kind of wreaking
Yeah.
wreaking havoc on us in those moments too. But there's all that release that happens
Yeah.
too. You know, there's a lot of release as we're going through that rite of passage into um, you know, our more wise years of strength too. You know,
Yeah.
what I'm getting right now almost with spirit is there's just saying, like, as we get older, you know, because as women, we're very heart centered, we're very kind of up here a lot too, and it's embodying the divine feminine is moving down into these lower chakras as well, and that's where there's going to be a lot of release and change and transformation. But that's how we come into our confidence, that's how we come into our presence, that's how we come into you know, knowing more us, and you know, being able to like be in this world um, in a very different, more full way, you know, a more full presence of way that we get into of embodying that wisdom. Because you know, the altruistic part of us that's up here can be combined with that, you know, that deep confident part of us as well, that's more down here, that's all into, you know, the depths of our womanhood as well. So
Yeah.
thank you for bringing that up too. So it's like we're moving down. I think for men it's a little bit of the opposite. They tend to be more down here, so they have that kind of grounded part of them too, and then they move more up into the heart. And so isn't that a beautiful thing, how we do this together? Isn't that so
Yeah.
beautiful throughout life? And we finally come
Yeah.
to,
You're right.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's
But you know
beautiful.
what I think, Jennifer, as well? I
Yeah,
believe that men go through the hormonal changes too. You
yeah,
know, I
yeah,
do believe men do go through the hormonal changes as well. And you know, well, you know how you maybe hear some people say, oh, you know, this gentleman, you know, he's having a midlife crisis, you know. I believe it happens in men as well, you know. And I I'm going to tell you something.
No, it's very true. It's very
But
true.
again, keep it to yourself, though. And don't let Tom. Don't let Tom know I'm telling you about this. Okay. Well, Tom's decided, right, that he would like a motorbike. Now, this is very, very new. My Tom wanted a motorbike. Yeah, he wants a motorbike, and this is what he's wanting to do, So I happened along with him, thinking, well, if I go along with it, he'll forget about it. And I thought, okay, right, I'll go along with this. He's done one of his little tests, but he's got to keep this going for 2 years. Plus, he's got to get the motorbike, which he's not got yet. Although I did get him a little toy one. Anyway, at Christmas time, I bought him the leather jacket and the helmet and all the rest of it. And I said, well, there's your stuff there. So one day, you'll be able to do this, So he was quite happy with it, and he would be wearing it and put his helmet on, and he was like, yeah, all I need to do is get the motorbike. I said, yeah, that's right. And I'm thinking, well, he's got all that stuff, he'll soon forget about it. Well, no, he hasn't. He hasn't forgot about it. He's still going on about it, and he's even picked the bike he would like, So I'm still stringing him along a little bit, but I'm praying that this motorbike fascination goes away, because I'm terrified not of him on the road, but just of the other people that are on the road, because I just don't think, when you're driving a motorbike, and especially as you're older, if you fall off it, you're going to break something, So I'm kind of trying my best to put him off a little bit, but he's going through that kind of midlife crisis, But I've heard other men as well. They start changing and dyeing their hair, and and getting the earring in, and and just trying to look a little bit cool. Go through whatever changes you're going through.
Yeah, it's true. We all do it. Yeah, and
you have to.
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. But I do believe men also go through that little stage too, where they're up and they're down,
sure.
and they're just feeling a little bit, well, I used to be able to do that, or I never got a chance to do that when I was younger. I want to do it now, So but I do believe men go through those changes too, and I think you have to just go with it. You have to go with it. Allow yourself to do that, But I did buy him a little motorbike, There you are. You can you can have a little look at that. But it didn't work.
Oh, that's too funny. Well, yeah, you're absolutely right. We all go through those changes at that time, and they are rites of passage, and maybe there just does come a time of life where you just stop caring about so much about fitting into the world around you, or fitting into the expectations and conforming. And then there's a little bit more freedom if you've raised a family, and then they've kind of moved on, then you have more time to do more self-discovery too. So it just reminds me of Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. We're looking for deep meaning in our lives, of finding that for ourselves too. But when we're so busy in the construction part of life, of the building, then there comes a point where it's like, okay, what do we do with this once we've built it too? And that's where this this second part of our life comes in, to see what else can we create. And women, for sure, once they have moved through their childbearing years and so forth, that creative energy is still there. It needs to go somewhere. So if you're not going to be creating babies, you need to create something else. It's and that again is in the lower chakras. So you need to be able to find something else that you can create and build too. So and it looks like everybody here is resonating here too. I want to say hi to Tracy.
Right.
She's asking if you're from Loch Lomond, and hello, Julie, as well.
Hi there. I stay in Dumbarton, which is near the banks of Loch Lomond. Yeah. And Helen's where the Gairloch is. So yeah. And you're from Balliol. I know where Balliol is. I was there yesterday.
I'm in the
So,
US, so I'm not in Scotland. Oh, Nadia's here. Hi,
oh,
Nadia. Our girl Nadia's here.
Nadia is a lovely soul, beautiful soul.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was here a couple weeks ago. We were talking about grief, so that was really a beautiful exchange
yeah,
that we got to have with everybody. Um, Again, for everybody's here, if you've been getting messages from people messaging you for readings or so forth, please just ignore them and delete them. Those are not from us as well. So I just wanted to say, just ignore them and delete them. And thank you all for being here as well. And I'm going to also use that as a moment too, that there are people out there that are cloning our accounts and pretending to be
yeah.
us. None of us will ever message you saying, contact us for a reading. We don't work that way. So please know if that happens, those are fake accounts. They've just cloned, they've stolen our picture and our information and just cloned them, but they're not real accounts. So you don't want to ever give money to those people or interact with them as well. So if you've been interacted here, please just block and delete them, and we'll take care of that. So thank you. Those are giving us opportunities to create a boundary, everybody. There we go. It's always good to have an opportunity to create a boundary, and there we are. So thank you, Cheyenne. And if anybody has any questions they'd like to ask us here today that you've been thinking about that you'd like to ask, please go ahead and put them into. But again, I wanted to thank you for all your lovely comments and interactions as well. It's been really quite lovely to be here with all of you here today. And what Alice do you have, like, what do you want to do like coming up? I know you've got so many different things going on. You're very active in all of your different events. And do you have any who is physical healings? Gwendolyn, can you be more specific with your question? Please. Thank you, Gwendolyn, and then we'll see if we can answer. But I wanted to ask sort of Alice, what sort of like dreams do you have for yourself, or where do you feel like you want to go from here?
Well, dreams for myself. I want to expand more with my spiritual work. I want to do a little bit more with the podcasting. I also want to do a little bit more of working with spirit world, but doing more of an active role of more demonstrations with it as well. I also would really like to, and I have started it a little bit. I'd like to write a book.
Yeah.
So, and I have started it. But it's quite hard writing a book, because some parts of it I was struggling with and was finding it quite hard. Certain things about it just going there. So Spirit they're teaching me a different way of doing it, that's making it a little bit more enjoyable to be able to. So yeah, I would say to you, yeah, definitely. What I would like to do before I leave you all in this life is I would like to write a book. Yeah.
I can see that for you too. I absolutely can see you writing a book. I'm trying to see if I can get rid of this troll on my own here. Let me see her.
I can't seem to
yeah
I can't seem
okay.
to.
Yeah, y'all just ignore and block that person too, and we'll just have to remove him later. But sorry about that. That's what we are referring to, because some of you are getting messages from somebody, and so I'm just saying, please block, delete, ignore, and don't interact otherwise, because they are not legitimate spiritual practitioners that you would want to interact with there. So that's your opportunity to set boundaries. Julianne just finished writing her second book, so she's saying, go for it, Alice.
Yeah. I will need to get lots of advice as well, because I this is completely new. This will be a challenge, because this is completely new. Okay, you write your book, what do you do? Where do you put it to? Who's the best place? Who's not going to rip me off? Money wise, so it's getting that trust and getting that direction as well. But I've been told that will come, but I need to get more yeah.
She'll help you. Julianne will
Oh,
help you. That's so
yeah.
sweet. Thank you,
Thank you.
Julianne.
Thank you, darling. That's so kind of you. Thank you. I want to help with what I know. Oh, bless you. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you. Yeah. So I just need to get my head down and go on with it, I think, And I know that you're going to write a book. I know you're definitely writing a book, Jennifer.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, I thought of that too. I would love to, put my poetry together too. That's been something that's been on my mind because
Well,
my phone
yeah.
is full of it.
Well, okay. Well, I'll tell you another little secret what the spirit told me. And because I was finding it a little bit hard writing my book, they told me to write a little and then write a poem in reflection of where I'm going with it. And do you know, it's been so much easier doing it that way. So writing a little bit, about what I want to write, and then actually putting into poetic words. My goodness, it just flows. It's amazing. You just put maybe it's inspirational writing, because I just sit and I'm going, right, okay, well, I wrote that, and but this is coming to me. And before you know it, you're writing it all down in a poem, but there's more. It's getting more constructive as you're going along. So yeah, I've been finding it easier doing a little bit of both.
Yeah,
Yeah. It
I
won't be
love
a
it.
big yeah.
Yeah, I can feel so much just beauty and
Mhm.
grace and sacredness around that too. So I
Yeah.
can feel it there for you. It's like this big ball of golden light just waiting to,
Yeah.
be put out into the ethers too. And people will get a lot of healing from it too.
Yeah,
So
that's my
um
aim. That is my aim.
because
Yeah.
the word the words give healing too. That's sometimes we don't realize that the things that we're reading, that are created from, the your divine heart of you and your higher self and spirit working through you too. There's a healing element to that too. So we don't always realize that we're getting the healing too. Even here today, we're in this beautiful space. Um, on this show with Kelly here, taking care of us, holding space for all of us, and all of here, everybody who's watching and joining us too. We're all here in this space of togetherness, and there's love and grace here right now. So we're all getting healing in some way from spirit for us too, by this exchange of spirit and power that's here together too. And so that's what's lovely when we come in together like this too. It's quite magical. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And it is like you can sit here and we're talking, but even looking at the comment box, you feel the people are actually here with you, don't you? It does
Absolutely.
feel, yeah, nobody feels far away. It just feels like a beautiful communication globally all around the world.
Exactly.
The way
Yeah,
it should be, the way it should be,
exactly.
that
Yeah.
beautiful connect.
Hi, Deidre. Beautiful. Um, oh, Gwendolyn loves the clouds in the
I
background. Yeah,
do.
Kelly picked those out. Yeah, Kelly picked those out for us too. Aren't they magical?
They're beautiful,
they,
absolutely
they give us
beautiful.
all the they give us all the wonder too. Um, and Alice, I want to just give you to, because I know it's been a challenging year for you. We've both lost pets before, and you've recently lost your beautiful Cassie too, who was just such a deep part of your life. And here you are still, coming here with your heart and your strength, and all that is you too. And I was just thinking about my dog who I lost a few years ago yesterday too. And every time we think about it, it comes fresh in our hearts, because there are such sources of unconditional love too. And we share in the love and the grief and the memory of our beautiful pets and our people that have gone on to spirit too. And I'm sure everybody here who's watching and listening to have had that experience also. It's so hard, and it rocks our world in such a way. But we're very blessed to be mediums, that we know that those that we love are in that very special place, and still very much with us and in our lives together too. And but I feel like the two of us and everybody here have we understand too that in those moments of loss, we gain great appreciation for what we still have here in the physical too. And I think that's what you were touching on earlier when you were talking, that time goes by very fast. This year is almost halfway over, and I don't know where it's gone, but it's gone really, really fast. And it's a good reminder for us to, the people that we love, hug them tight, hold them close. Don't waste moments. Don't waste precious moments that we can have with each other, with our connections with each other, because we don't want to. I'm so sorry for your loss, Deidre, too. We give all of our love to you. Yeah, she rescued you. I get it. Yeah, I get it too. They do rescue us, don't they, too? And to just, if we can take a moment to show appreciation to the people that we care about that are in our lives, and and just calm down the busyness to where we can be here, here in this present. It develops that presence and that mindfulness too, to be here. And I know how much we love being with spirit. You know me, I'm always connected like that all the time, but I try to very purposely and intentionally, focus on everybody here too, and the people that I love, because I know we just have this one life, and it's like, how do we want to live it? So finding that balance. Hi, Patrick. Finding that balance of the doing and the being. And the being is with the people that we love, especially those that are in our inner circles, having that connection with them and appreciate. And don't we appreciate people more sometimes when we've had the loss too, and so at least we have the gift of building that purposeful intention and mindfulness that we get from it too.
Yeah,
I just felt like I wanted to speak on that a little bit with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree with you. It also depends on who you speak to as well with grief, doesn't it? Not everyone understands an animal grief, and so it depends on who you speak to as well. And some people maybe make comments about things, but they mean it in the best way. But sometimes you think, well, she just didn't bother. Just, because I don't know if anyone's ever experienced that, but with an animal, as well, it's not only a dog, it's your family.
They're like our children. Yeah.
It's your family.
They're like our children. Yeah.
Yeah. And, you don't have to explain yourself to anybody. It's your love that you had with your partner, loved one, animal, whoever, but you never have to explain yourself to anyone, because that was a special bond that you had with that person. And no one can take that away for you, and nobody can take that pain away. It just takes time. But time is a natural born healer, but you're not alone in it. And I think that's what I learned, as well. Although it's still raw with me, you carry on and you think you're doing all right, and then something happens, or you see a person that looks like that person, or you see a dog that looks like your dog. But sometimes it's just a little reminder of spirit saying, it's okay, we're still around you, Yeah, absolutely. I'm so connected with animals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can relate.
Yeah,
totally. They are like our children. They're just unconditional love. When we work as mediums, they show up just like pure love. I mean, it's a different experience when they show up, when we're connecting with animals. That's how they show up, and they just, they are that too. And that's why the loss can be very significant with pets too. And it's like losing a child. Lost Duke under terrible circumstances around you now, and telling you he's coming back to, oh, that's so beautiful. So beautiful.
Julianne, I can understand that as well, because we have got a cockapoo, which is little Mia that we have. Beautiful dog. She's just our little angel. But do you know, I can see it was a dog I had as a child. And I can see, although it's a different breed, a lot of her traits that she had, he had, it was a he, like Brandy was a golden retriever, so there's a big difference in the size, but I'm talking about the nature. Brandy used to always like to, if you were sitting, he loved to come up and he would just gently go and take your slipper off, and look at you, and then start running away and look at you as if to say, "Are you coming to chase me?" Well, Mia does that. And nobody taught her to do that, but she does that out of the blue. She'll come along and she'll take my slipper and she'll look at me, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, Brandy's there as well. So I understand what you said about your dog, maybe coming back to you to be your pet again through a pet. I'm totally with you on that.
Yeah. There
Totally
was a
with you.
movie about that it was a few years ago. Oh God, probably at least 5 years ago. I can't remember what it was called, but the man had lost a childhood pet, and then this other dog showed up in his world and, reincarnated basically as his new pet, but in a different form, a different body, and started doing very specific things that his other dog had done. And then he finally realized what had happened. It was just a beautiful love story. It really was a beautiful love story of healing, because of the, it healed the grief of the past. And I think it reminds us, I've got chills all over, Alice, that spirit can do anything is possible, in love. Anything and everything is possible in love. And so what can we create when we keep moving into that deeper love, and if we're brave and courageous.
There's no distance in love. There's no distance in love.
Yes, Dennis Quaid. Yes, thank you, Julianne. Thank you. That's the one. Yes. I can't remember the name of it, but it was really a beautiful story. I think it might have been based on a book too. And but I think that it brings us full circle to the power of love, Alice. The power of love brought you and me together. And boy, did I need you when you showed up. It's like I
needed you as well, Jennifer, because I was going through a tough time then as well. So I needed you then as well. So Spirit knew what they were doing. Yeah,
it's very true. And we look at you as our fairy godmother, the sparkle queen and the fairy godmother. You're very loved, Alice. You're very, very loved.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my darling. Thank you.
I know we're about coming to an end, and everybody, I believe Kelly has put Alice's information in the chat box, or we'll do so in just a minute, where you can reach Alice too, because she's got her Sparkle of Light spiritual chat show, and her website. She's here on Facebook and on Instagram. If you want to follow her, give her a follow, please. All of us girls love a follow, so thank you. Please follow Kelly and the Sacred Spiral Network. It really helps us to keep growing. So
follow me,
we so appreciate. Follow me. Exactly. We really appreciate it. We're hardworking gals. We really are. We work really hard. So, but if there is any final words you'd like to leave us with, Alice, before we say goodbye to all our beautiful friends here.
Yeah. Stay true to yourself. And remember, I always say this, look after yourself, but look after each other.
Yeah.
The Spirit are always around us. They're always guiding us. They just need us to listen. And remember, when history repeats itself, it's because we've not listened the first time round or the second time round. But eventually we do. And that's when we move on and we grow. So keep listening.
There's always another opportunity to learn. There's always going to be another opportunity. And with every experience we gain more wisdom and understanding, and the depth of love grows fuller and deeper, for sure too. So as hard as life has been for all of us, we all have challenges. No one is going to be free of challenges in life, but I can truly say that the depth and growth that I've gained from them hasn't changed my capacity of love. It's only increased my capacity of love. And that is the great surprise. You'd think that with the darkness, it would kill your love or kill your light, but it doesn't. Your capacity just grows bigger. You just
That's
love even more. You just love more.
you do.
The
Yeah, you
Mother
do.
Teresa said, you just
Yeah,
love more. And
that's
and
very
that's
true,
like,
Jennifer. That's so true.
yeah.
Yeah. And even people who have maybe hurt you in the past, and just send that love there as well. But don't keep bitterness or anger there in your heart, because that's not a place to stay or be,
Right.
If you've ever been hurt or whatever's happened to you that's been horrific, let yourself be free of that and
Yeah.
let go of the emotions, let go of the anger that you've got, let go of the emotions. And then once that's done, and it can take some time, but it will go, then you
Yeah.
can actually start to move forward with that love there in your heart. And people who maybe say, I've had this said to me in the past, oh, you're too forgiving. Well, that's fine. I'll just be too forgiving then. I'd rather be
I'm
that
the
way.
same way. I'm the same way. I always forgive. I always turn the other cheek.
Yeah,
And, people could judge that as wrong or something like that, but that's just how I am,
that's how
and
I am as
I
well.
I,
And
I agree with
I'm not
you.
changing. I'm not changing for anybody. But years
Yeah.
ago, used to make me feel as like I was weak, or a bit pathetic. But now I know that's not true. That's not true at all.
Yeah.
But if I'm too forgiving, then fine. Then fine. I'd rather be that way than be bitter and angry and having
Yeah.
this here all the time. Because that's no way to live your life. It's no way
You're
to live
right.
your life. You know,
Maybe we can think of those emotions as temporary destinations,
yeah,
and forgiveness and love and empathy as the more permanent destinations
yeah,
to be at too, because um, we're all going to get hurt in life, even by people that we care about and love, but we're all growing too. So if we hold people to their past, you
yeah,
know um, kind of like, I think there was something I shared once on Facebook, as like, holding people to past versions of themselves. We aren't those people anymore. We're new people
no,
now. So
that's right.
can we get to know the new people, the people that we love, but they're new, because we're always transforming and changing and growing too, and making that space for that too. That is radical love, you know
Yes,
that is radical love too. So
absolutely,
I agree with you. I agree with you. That's
absolutely.
beautiful. Thank you, Alice. Thank you for
Oh,
that.
no, thank you, Jennifer. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Yeah.
It's been amazing as always. And I'm
I
looking
hope
forward.
you'll come back.
Oh yeah, hey, you're not getting rid of me. No, you're not getting rid of me.
Thank
I'm looking
God.
forward to Monday. I'm looking forward to Monday as
Thank
well.
you. Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
yeah,
Me too.
yeah.
For those of you who may have tuned in a little bit late, Alice has created a demonstration with herself and myself and Bill Hughes and Miss Debbie Romero. Um, and the four of us will be demonstrating 12 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. UK. It's donation based. I'll get that posted on my page later for you to find, and it's also on Alice's page. You can find it too. So we would love to have you join us. We'll all be doing readings. We're all very, very heart-centered mediums, so come be part of the love and the healing. It's going to be a truly magical thing, as well too. This Sunday, I have my Sunday service with Dr. Lima Bergman. She's here from California. If you want to join us for that, that's at 10 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m.
I'm coming
UK
on.
time.
I'm coming on. I'm coming
Yay!
on.
Oh, yay! I can't wait to see you. Can't wait to see you. And Fran Pierce will be sharing her poetry as well. I've got my angel team with us too. Kelly Brickle's going to be here in a little over an hour, so please get some lunch, get some dinner, and come back for the psychic hour. She's going to be doing readings, so you don't want to miss that as well. And next Friday on Embracing Affinity, Kelly Brickle is going to be my guest, so we're going to be here together. So it's going to be her and I next Friday. So don't miss that as well too. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Kelly's fabulous, so you get to see her coming
I
on in
love
all
the
of her
girl.
fabulousness. So we're going to have a great time together too. So with that, again, thanks everybody for being here. And if you watch the replay later, we hope you enjoyed everything as well. Thank you for your love, for your presence, and for your connection. We're truly grateful to each and every one of you. And please remember to let love be your compass, let your guide be your guide. It will not leave you astray. In the end, we are all coming into that more beautiful love, ever growing, ever evolving. And may all of this that has been created today and this healing be sent to every form of life and consciousness in this world and beyond, so that everybody can feel loved, cared for, and nurtured and wanted. So with that, thank you, Alice. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Kelly. Have a great time, everybody, and a beautiful weekend, and take good care. Bye.
Good night. God bless.